Well, it looks like another tech company has bent the knee in the United Kingdom. They need to stop looking at numbers. They need to say enough. If you don't like, if you want to put restrictions on our site, then we're gonna close it out. We're gonna geo block the situation. We'll let people use VPNs to find us. Especially since now this particular site has, I believe they've banned Destiny to the situation. You know, and I'll tell you, I've remembered this channel. I mean, this site has gone all the way back to the old Justin TV days. I used to be on that site a long time ago, and Justin TV became Twitch, and I believe Twitch is heading in the same direction as Justin TV. They're starting to crash. Their site is not like it used to be, and that's what happened with Justin TV. They just fell to the sides. But before we get into this article, drop a comment, like, share, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. We're almost at 1,400. Let's get there. Just takes that moment to hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate that. So let's get into this immediately. Out of AVN, Twitch to verify age of users in the United Kingdom. Twitch is now verifying the age of its user logins from IP addresses in the United Kingdom, Dexerto reported on Tuesday. Twitch is the latest platform to adopt strict age verification measures in response to implementing the Online Safety Act. UK Digital Regulatory Agency Ofcom now requires that digital services in the country ensure that individuals who access their platforms must pass a facial scan or submit personal information. To protect your privacy, Twitch and KID, a third-party vendor which partner with to verify your age, do not store your facial scan video selfies, notes Twitch. Yeah, I don't believe that. The video selfie used for facial age estimation is analyzed entirely on your device and will never leave it. Twitch users via Dexerto called the measure dystopian. Another user said, "Yeah, I don't really need Twitch in my life that much. Adult content creators are popular on Twitch as it serves the purpose of mainstream audience acquisition. For example, Amaranth is a popular streamer on Twitch, Kick, and an award-winning adult creator." Yes, but she has other places also that she can go to. She's already practically in the adult industry. So she doesn't really need Twitch. But she's there somewhat onto there. But the thing is, and I had the video out last week. You can check it on age verification, that there are certain sites that basically will leak out your info. We talked about this last week. We said that, there is no guarantee that these sites are able to protect your info. Remember that. They want you to just to give out your information. No, this outs you. This has happened before. Like I said, I say this and you say, why do you keep saying this? Why do you keep saying? Yeah, I used to be a public access producer back in the 80s into the 90s. I worked on many shows, and I worked around a lot of other people that have had issues with censorship on cable TV. Cable TV, mind you. And for those of you who don't know about this, there is a former porn actress of Robin Bird. If you haven't seen her movie, she's in Debbie Does Dallas. She had her own TV show, which she showcased a lot of people in the adult entertainment business. She had them do like a little bit of a strip tease on there, and she had both men and women on the show. Now, to the point, and this was a popular show. It still runs in repeat on M&M Network in New York. If you're in New York City, I I don't know if the online is able to show it. I'm not certain on there. I haven't looked at the MNN network online because MNN.org is the site on there. You're able to see public access television from New York City. You know, and I tell you, this show was popular. I mean, Sandra Bernhard, who's a friend of Robin Birds, even did a strip tease on there, which was mentioned. There is a Conan O'Brien episode where she was sitting down talking about it, and they played a bit of a clip of it. But getting into the censorship part of this, what was happening, and see, her show was not the only show out there as far as adult category. After 10 p.m. in New York, and you'll probably, anyone who lived in New York that's in my age group, we used to have the public access channels and all the independents back then. They were not numeric, most of them. They were alphabetic. In simpler terms, Channel A, Channel B, Channel C. The public access channels were C, D, and J. J was lease access. What do I mean by lease access? Lease access is you paid money. In other words, you were able to run commercials on it. C and D, you could not run commercials. These were open to anybody who wanted to produce a show. Sounds similar to, what I mean? YouTube. Yes, that's right. This is the early days of YouTube before there was a YouTube and the internet. In fact, the internet was an infant at the time. You couldn't stream as of yet. You were able to play games online. It basically was a weird way of doing it, but that you were able to do some chat, some minor chat and stuff like that. And that was toward the latter as you got into the 90s. But nevertheless, what we had here was you had the Robin Bird Show. There was another show called Ugly George. You had Midnight Blue, Interludes After Midnight, the Gay Cable Network, a few others here and there. And what was happening was, after 10 p.m., certain things were censored, obviously. Now, understand this. Most of these guys didn't really show... They kind of flaunted the borderline. Yes, there was nudity to that point. Some sexual innuendos that you would see in an R-rated movie. Sometimes we went just a little bit above to NC-17. At that time period, it wasn't considered NC-17. It was considered more pornographic. And basically, at the time, Manhattan Cable TV would censor them. They would put a censor bar over it, or put a censor slate censored by Manhattan Cable TV for its content. And there was one point where they said they wanted to scramble the channel after 10 p.m. And the only way you could unscramble it is if you would have to send a card into Manhattan Cable TV saying, I say, Madman, want you to unscramble Channel J from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., which was not good. It was not good at the time. This was literally outing people. This was like, they'd say like, well, yeah, you want to watch porn to that point. But see, the thing is in the other half of this story, and you're like saying, well, yeah, protect the kids and stuff like that. Well, here's protecting kids. And I'll tell you this from the Time Warner part of it at that time period. Now, you recall that there was pay-per-view, which we still have somewhat pay-per-view these days, but it was different back then. Pay-per-view was to the point, because this was pre-computerized and stuff like that, where you didn't hit a button on a remote control. What you would have to do is pick up your phone, as long as you were at home, dial the number that would give underneath, say, like if you wanted to watch, say, Close Encounters of the Third Kind on pay-per-view, you dialed 1-800 Close Encounter, whatever it was. And then it would tell you your movie will start in 5 minutes. And then instantly your movie would start. And the thing about it is, also, there was pornography. Yes, they had the Playboy Channel and a couple others. They ran porn movies, and they pretty much throughout the day and night. And the thing about it is, well, you probably, yeah, it's scrambled. You would hear the term scrambled and all that. But the thing about it is, how easy was it to get? The phone calls were all automated. It didn't ask for your name. It didn't ask for how old you were. It basically just said, you've purchased this particular, let's say Debbie Does Dallas, which will start in 5 minutes on this particular channel.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
Are you ready?
I'm done!
You will be charged according to your bill. And the thing about it is, yeah, kids will get caught because you'll be like, okay, who watched Debbie Does Dallas? But still, nevertheless, it was easy to get pornography on cable TV via the cable networks themselves. And then you had Skinamax come in, they make it even more crazier. But getting back to the Robin Bird part of it, they went to court with this and won. Even the judge was like saying, I watched the shows, I wouldn't get a card. I wouldn't sign a card to the situation. That's nobody's business. What you watch, what you do, to the point. If it's legal, whatever you're watching on Twitch, whatever you're watching on YouTube, whatever you're watching on Rumble, or whatever sites you're watching on, that's your own personal business. You don't need any government intervention to tell you, oh, well, we're protecting the kids. Yeah, bullshit. You want to know what people are watching all the time, and you want to control what they're watching. That's what Ofcom is doing. This is what they're doing. Honestly. They have admitted to this. Listen to some of the reports, some of the committee hearings on this. Nigel Farage gave us the whole scoop when he testified for the Senate. And what did his fellow politicians did on the other end? They were chastising him and said, oh, he ran to another country to tell them how bad we were. Oh, he's the one that's, unpatriotic to our country. No. You already saw what was going on, the Tommy Robinson situation where they had that big protest and the thousands and tens of thousands of people that showed up. The people of the United Kingdom does not want this. The people of the United States does not want this. The people of Australia, France, Germany don't want this. They don't want age verification. They don't want to have to plop down their credit card, show their face. And I'll tell you, the facial recognition, I've seen some of this stuff defeated by using video. Some of the video, was it Death Stranding? Someone was using, character building on Death Stranding to defeat facial recognition, and it worked. This is what is happening, to this point. Like I said, this is a repeat of back then. More censorship. The 80s, the 90s, they've been wanting to censor everything. We've had, here in the United States, we've had Senate subcommittee hearings on music, on television, video games, Saturday morning cartoons, commercials. They've done everything. Now they're going after anime and manga. They're going after the internet. They'll give you these words: racism, misinformation, hate speech, must protect the children, protect the women. None of this protects anyone. If anything, it puts money in their pockets. Think about that for a minute. A lot of these rules, somebody is benefiting greatly off of this. So let me know in the comments below. Tell me your thoughts about this. Am I nuts? Am I crazy? Or hey, listen, you don't want censorship. Plain and simple. You're gonna go walk away from Twitch. Twitch right now, is just dangling by the hook right now. It's on its way. I believe it's on its way out. So let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out Sci-Fi Snob, Babylon 5 retrospective, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. Also, subscribe to Sci-Fi for Me to let you know when he goes live. He has these live podcasts, which are really good daily. Great talking on there. He has an open mic night. I think Friday night is the open mic night, if I'm not mistaken. I've been on it a couple of times, so do check it out. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.